Minecraft is a game that is mostly restricted by simple cubes, but that doesn't stop people from making the most insane structures you could ever imagine. Now I'm talking about people literally spending months planning and building structures that make you question how this stuff is even possible in a game like Minecraft.
How?
In fact, this bewilderment is the reason why I'm making this video. I wanted to find out how the creative nature of certain people can be channeled into pushing the boundaries of what this game can and should be. But what does it mean to be creative, and why is Minecraft built for creativity to flourish? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Minecraft, the pinnacle of creativity. When you start a game of Minecraft, your character is plonked into a vast landscape of, well, cubes. A lot of cubes, in fact. Some of these cubes are green, some are brown, some are not really cubes, but they are close enough. So no matter the color or shape of these cubes, each of them play a vital role in making your landscape an almost endless sandbox of opportunity. So how on earth do you go from punching wood with your hand and building primitive dirt huts to constructing stuff like this? Well, it all starts with a bit of creative thinking. The thing is, defining creativity is actually quite a tricky task. I mean, it's not only a problem in linguistics, but also in philosophy and psychology, because all of them have slightly different interpretation of what creativity is. According to the literal definition of the word creativity, it is defined as the use of imagination or original ideas to create something. Now wait, create something. Where else have I seen that before? Creative mode. Now that seems like the place to use my imagination to create something. In this game mode, Minecraft allows you to create free of the restrictions put in place in a typical survival or hardcore game. You have unlimited access to all the blocks and items the game has to offer, and you can arrange them in whichever way you like.
Cock.
Furthermore, to maximize the extraction of those creative juices, you're not even restricted by gravity, or life for that matter. The world is truly your oyster, so time to create. Well, that looks a bit crap, doesn't it? But you still used your imagination to think of something, and technically you created it, right? I mean, if we focus on why this looks like
some dog shat in my shelf.
we could probably conclude that you simply may not be as well versed in using the tools that Minecraft provides you with. So I guess giving you unlimited access to all the game's resources means little when you don't have the skills to transfer your imagination into reality, because building structures just from blocks is rather difficult. So instead of laughing at you, Minecraft invites you to get to know the mechanics of the canvas of creativity through removing certain restrictions so that you can freely explore the boundaries and learn from your mistakes. This is then nicely supported by the tons of online tutorials to improve your building, thanks to the massive community of builders that Minecraft has accumulated. So it isn't all doom and gloom, you still created something, right? Even if it isn't quite the masterpiece you were hoping for. But anyways, if we look at the literal definition of creativity, you are creative. You're a person who used their imagination or original idea to create something, even if this something looks like that.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Unfortunately, this is where linguistics falls short. Clearly, this lacks the wow factor that comes from something being deemed creative, so although Minecraft encompasses the literal definition of creativity, there's a clear shortfall with the linguistic standpoint on creativity. That shortfall being the inability to answer why when you saw this, and then you saw this, you would think that this is less creative than that, when both people technically are creative under the literal definition of creativity. So in an attempt to find the answers to this somewhat philosophical question, I jumped on another form of playing Minecraft: build battles. I guess the biggest difference between creative mode and build battles is the fact that you are almost forced into creating something under a certain category. If people vote for a waterfall, you build a waterfall. If people vote for soup, you build a soup. If people vote on pyramids and you instead build then, well, you won't get the votes to win. This form of constricting and defining the boundaries for building allows for players to focus their efforts into something that everyone can vote on. In fact, the voting system is exactly what determines whose creation is the best and whose is the worst. In other words, who's the most creative. The voting system is very simple. Each player has a few blocks that represent the levels to which they subjectively like each of the player's creations, from really bad to really good. So when you accumulate all the subjective scores of each player, you end up with a somewhat objective score of which creation is the best. Right, I know this isn't the best way to do it, especially when you have potential colluding, but it definitely says something on finding a way to determine who is more creative than another person. So as we can see, through build battles, creativity is relative, it's subjective. It's something that everyone experiences in their own ways, yet Minecraft still finds a way to answer the question of why something is deemed more creative than something else. By creating a voting system and distributing it across the crowd, Minecraft achieves a general score that represents which creation is the most creative. However, up until now we've been discussing creativity as something that is visually pleasing, but of course that would be reducing all the creative ways that people make mechanisms to make tasks quicker or more efficient, or just outright ridiculously fun to watch. This stuff is especially more impressive to see when people make these creations in the survival or hardcore game modes, where the difficulty and the stakes are much higher. Because of this, creativity is not just a visual experience, it's one that targets multiple levels of cognitive processing and tickles those neurons for some serotonin. Speaking of that stuff, the common misconception of creativity within psychology is that people who are left-brained are less creative than people who are right-brained. The idea of left and right brain comes from the fact that the brain is split into two hemispheres, left hemisphere and right hemisphere, which both communicate to each other across an area called the corpus callosum. Each side is thought to have certain responsibilities that make them more useful for either analytical thinking in the left hemisphere or creative thinking in the right hemisphere. Now, although this misconception holds some truth, as the brain does have areas where function can be localized, even across the two hemispheres, when it comes to creativity, it simply is too complex of a task to be focused into just one hemisphere. To experience creativity, it requires many areas of the brain across the two hemispheres to process all the factors that contribute to making a creation in Minecraft. I mean, you use your occipital lobe to visually perceive and interpret the surroundings in Minecraft, which then allows you to spatially perceive how many blocks long this building is going to be, thanks to the parietal lobe. Then, through the blessings of the cerebellum, you have the coordination to place those blocks in the right place. Now, whilst all this is happening, the frontal and temporal lobes are working overtime, processing memory, information retrieval, providing problem-solving skills, and of course inhibition, so you don't just blow up the whole thing and start again. So no matter how you look at creativity, how you define it, or how you experience it, it's almost undisputed that Minecraft overcomes the technical limitations of creativity in fun and, well, creative ways. Linguistics defines creativity as the use of imagination or original ideas to create something. Minecraft delivers. Philosophy questions the very nature of creativity, asking how something is deemed more creative than another thing. Minecraft weaves in and out and makes decent work of answering this question. Finally, psychology presents us with neuroscience, upon which creativity arises, and Minecraft says, yes. So the reason for why Minecraft is the pinnacle of creativity is because it encompasses and overcomes all forms of creativity, no matter the definition. The game is accessible to everyone and continually provides a canvas for this creativity to continue. There is no minimum requirement of skill needed for creativity to be expressed in Minecraft, as it will be continuously stretched the longer you play. Minecraft as a game provides the tools through its simple blocks and variety of game modes, and lays out the rules for the players through imposing restrictions or stakes for the player. However, the players are then invited to use those tools to break the very same rules, and at that point, creativity flourishes. Perhaps this may be true for some other sandbox games, but no other game has gone to the lengths that Minecraft has to nurture all sides of what is meant by when someone mentions creativity. That is why it is the pinnacle of creativity.